There's an occurrence that some of us go through in our lives, which can be completely daunting and likened to being in an abyss. Though once you come through it, it's indeed an awe-inspiring experience. I share this video as I have experienced this myself on occasion, surprisingly more than once. And once is enough, though it can happen to those more than once in a lifetime. Do not fret. There are ways to move through it and come out the other side stronger, wiser, and emotionally grounded. Perhaps you're experiencing intense emotions, feeling lost, or questioning everything you've ever believed in. If this sounds familiar, you might be going through what's known as the dark night of the soul, or a tower moment. Now, I know these terms might sound a bit dramatic, but they describe very real and powerful experiences that many people encounter on their spiritual journey. These moments can feel overwhelming, even terrifying, but they are often the catalysts for profound transformation and growth. Today, we're going to dive deep into what the dark night of the soul and the tower moment really are. We'll explore the intense emotions and challenges that come with these experiences, share stories of those who have walked through the fire, and most importantly, discuss what you can do when it happens to you. By the end of this conversation, you'll have a clearer understanding of why these events happen and how you can embrace them as part of your journey toward a higher state of consciousness. Trust me, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and together, we're going to find it. Remember, you're not alone in this. Many have gone through these intense periods of transformation and emerged stronger, wiser, and more connected to their true selves. And so will you. The dark night of the soul, just hearing those words can send a shiver down your spine, right? It sounds ominous, and in many ways it can feel that way. But what exactly is it? Let's break it down. The dark night of the soul is often described as a period of profound spiritual desolation, disconnection, and existential crisis. It's that phase in life where everything seems to lose its meaning, where the things that used to bring you joy, comfort, and purpose no longer do. You might feel like you're wandering through a dense fog, unable to see a way forward. It's important to clarify that the dark night of the soul isn't just about feeling sad or going through a tough time. It's much deeper than that. Unlike depression, which can feel like a pervasive sadness or hopelessness, the dark night is a spiritual and existential experience. It's the collapse of the old structures within your consciousness, the dismantling of your ego, and the life you've built around it. Many spiritual teachers and thought leaders like Eckhart Tolle have talked about their own experiences with the dark night of the soul. Tolle describes it as the collapse of the conceptual framework that gave your life meaning, leading to a deep sense of emptiness and disillusionment. But collapse is necessary. It's the universe's way of stripping away everything that's not truly you. Perhaps you felt this yourself, a period where nothing seems to make sense anymore, where the things you once held onto start to slip away. It can be incredibly frightening because it feels like losing control of your life. But in reality, what's happening is a powerful spiritual process where your old self is dissolving, making way for a deeper connection to your true essence. What does the dark night of the soul actually feel like? For many, it can manifest as a profound sense of loneliness, despair, or confusion. You might feel like you're in a void where the old ways of thinking and being no longer work, but the new ways haven't yet emerged. But here's the key. The dark night of the soul isn't meant to destroy you, it's meant to awaken you. It's a spiritual detox, where all the illusions and false beliefs you've carried for so long are being purged from your system. It's like the universe is giving you a tough love lesson, pushing you to let go of everything that's not in alignment with your true self. Think of it as a caterpillar going into its cocoon. The caterpillar has to go through a period of dissolution, literally breaking down into a mushy state before it can transform into a butterfly. Dark night of the soul is your cocoon. It's uncomfortable, it's dark, and it feels like everything is falling apart. If you're in the midst of a dark night, know that you're not alone, and you're not going crazy. Many have walked this path before you, and many will follow. It's a rite of passage for those who are on a deep spiritual journey. And while it might feel unbearable at times, it's leading you to something far greater than you can imagine, a life of authenticity, peace, and spiritual alignment. In the next part of our conversation, we'll explore another powerful and often simultaneous experience, the Tower moment. While the dark night of the soul is an internal collapse, the Tower moment is where everything in your external world starts to fall apart. Stick with us as we delve into what it is, why it happens, and how to navigate through it. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a towering structure, a skyscraper that you've spent years building. Represents everything you've constructed in your life, your relationships, your career, your identity, your beliefs. Then, out of nowhere, lightning strikes, and the tower begins to crumble, collapsing all around you. This is what we call the Tower moment. The Tower moment is a term derived from the tarot card known as the Tower. In the tarot, the tower symbolizes sudden upheaval, chaos, and destruction. A moment when everything you once thought was solid and dependable starts to disintegrate right before your eyes. But here's the thing: this destruction isn't a punishment. It's a powerful, albeit painful, opportunity for transformation. In the imagery of the Tower card, we often see a tall structure being struck by lightning, with figures tumbling from its heights. This dramatic scene represents the sudden and often shocking events that force you to confront the reality that the foundations you've built your life on are no longer sustainable. The Tower moment is the universe's way of clearing out what no longer serves you, even if it means tearing everything down to the ground. Perhaps you've experienced something like this: a breakup that shattered your world, a job loss that left you questioning your worth, or a series of events that made you feel like everything was spiraling out of control. Tower moment is when life forces you to let go of the structures, beliefs, and relationships that have become limiting or toxic, whether you're ready to or not. Let's be honest, the Tower moment is terrifying. It feels like the rug is being pulled out from under you, and you're left free-falling into the unknown. There's a deep sense of loss, confusion, and vulnerability. The life you knew is collapsing, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. This can trigger intense emotions, fear, anger, grief, and a profound sense of helplessness. But here's the silver lining: the Tower moment, like the dark night of the soul, is not about punishment. It's about liberation. It's the universe's way of tearing down the old, outdated structures in your life to make room for something new and more aligned with your true purpose. As painful as it is, the Tower moment is a necessary catalyst for growth and evolution. Think about the stories of people who have lost everything, only to rise from the ashes stronger and more fulfilled than ever before. J.K. Rowling, for example, was at rock bottom before she wrote the first Harry Potter book. Her Tower moment came when she was jobless, divorced, and struggling to make ends meet. The Tower moment also shatters illusions, those comforting lies we tell ourselves about how life is supposed to be. It strips away the facades, forcing us to confront the truth. Maybe the relationship you thought was perfect was actually built on a shaky foundation, or the career you pursued for years turned out to be unfulfilling because it wasn't aligned with your true passions. Why does the Tower moment have to be so intense? Because we often resist change. We cling to the familiar, even when it no longer serves us. The Tower moment is the universe's way of shaking us awake, breaking us free from the chains of the past, and propelling us into a new reality, one that is more authentic, more aligned with our soul's purpose. So, how do you survive a Tower moment? First, understand that resistance only prolongs the suffering. As hard as it may be, try to surrender to the process. Trust that this destruction is clearing the path for something greater. Stay grounded. In the present moment, practice mindfulness, meditation, or simply take deep breaths when the chaos feels overwhelming. Reach out for support from loved ones, spiritual guides, or a community that understands what you're going through. Once the dust settles, you'll find yourself standing amidst the rubble. It might feel like you've lost everything, but in truth, you've gained the freedom to rebuild your life from a place of authenticity and truth. The Tower moment is a rebirth, an opportunity to reconstruct your life on a foundation that's solid, sustainable, and true to who you really are. In the next section, we'll share some powerful personal stories from those who have walked through the fire of the dark night of the soul and the Tower moment, emerging stronger and more enlightened on the other side. These stories will remind you that no matter how dark things seem, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. When you're going through a dark night of the soul or a Tower moment, it can feel incredibly isolating. You might wonder, why is this happening to me? Or, am I the only one dealing with this? The truth is, you're not alone. Many others have walked this path, and hearing their stories can provide comfort and insight. Story 1. Eckhart Tolle's Dark Night of the Soul. Eckhart Tolle, author of The Power of Now, experienced his dark night of the soul during a period of severe depression and anxiety. One night, he reached a breaking point, questioning the very self he couldn't live with. This question led to a profound spiritual awakening, where his ego dissolved and he found inner peace. Tolle's story shows how the dark night can be a gateway to spiritual awakening, transforming despair into deep inner peace. Story 2. Dr. Joe Dispenza's Tower moment. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a neuroscientist, faced his Tower moment after a devastating accident left him with multiple broken vertebrae. Instead of opting for risky surgery, he chose to heal himself through meditation and visualization. Against all odds, he recovered fully, which inspired his work on the mind-body connection. Dispenza's experience highlights how a Tower moment, despite its initial devastation, can lead to profound personal and professional transformation. These stories demonstrate that the dark night of the soul and the Tower moment, while painful, are powerful catalysts for growth. They show that even the most successful people have faced these challenges and emerged stronger and more aligned with their true purpose. So if you're going through something similar, take heart. You're not alone, and these dark times are shaping you for something greater. Up next, we'll explore practical steps you can take when you find yourself in the midst of a dark night or Tower moment, helping you navigate these intense experiences with resilience and grace. Recognizing that you're in a dark night of the soul or a Tower moment can be overwhelming. It's a time when everything feels uncertain, but there are steps you can take to navigate through this with resilience and grace. Step 1. Surrender and acceptance. First and foremost, surrender. Fighting against the changes only intensifies the pain. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means allowing the process to unfold, trusting that it's leading to growth. Step 2. Stay grounded. Grounding is essential during these turbulent times. Engage in activities like walking in nature, practicing yoga, or simply focusing on your breath. Staying present helps anchor you when everything else feels chaotic. Step 3. Educate yourself. Understanding what you're going through can reduce fear. Learn from spiritual teachers like Eckhart Tolle or Dr. Joe Dispenza. Knowledge empowers you to navigate these experiences with greater ease. Step 4. Focus on self-care. Self-care is crucial. Nourish your body with healthy food, get plenty of rest, and engage in activities that bring you joy and peace. Your well-being is the foundation for handling these challenges. Step 5. Seek support. Don't isolate yourself. Reach out to friends, family, or spiritual communities. Sharing your experiences with others who understand can provide immense comfort and perspective. Step 6. Embrace the unknown. The unknown is scary, but it's also where new possibilities arise. Try to see this period as a blank canvas, an opportunity to rebuild your life in alignment with your true self. Step 7. Reflect and integrate. As you move through this, take time to reflect on what you've learned. Journaling or meditation can help you integrate these lessons into your life, turning pain into a catalyst for growth. Remember, these moments aren't the end. They're the beginning of a new chapter. By following these steps, you can navigate this period with strength and clarity, emerging more aligned with your true purpose. Up next, we'll talk about embracing the transformation that follows these experiences and how to rebuild your life with authenticity and strength. So, you've weathered the storm of the dark night of the soul and survived the chaos of the tower moment. Now what? As the dust begins to settle, you're standing at the edge of something new, a transformation that's both exciting and a little intimidating. This isn't just about getting through the tough times, it's about emerging from them as a stronger, more authentic version of yourself. Think of this as your rebirth. The old you, the one tied to outdated beliefs, unhealthy habits, or relationships that no longer served you, has been stripped away. What's left is the essence of who you truly are, ready to rebuild and redefine what matters most in your life. But here's the thing. This transformation is a process, not an overnight change. First things first, you've got to let go of what no longer serves you. I know, easier said than done, right? But this is crucial. Whether it's old beliefs that held you back, habits that no longer align with who you are, or even relationships that were part of your past but not your future, it's time to gently release them. Now that you've made space, it's time to start rebuilding, but this time with real intention. What do you want your life to look like moving forward? What's truly important to you? This is your chance to create a life that's aligned with your deepest values and desires. Maybe it's focusing on relationships that nourish you, pursuing a passion you've neglected, or deepening your spiritual practice. Here's a big one: self-compassion. You've just gone through something intense, and it's okay if you're not feeling 100% every day. Be kind to yourself. Take it one step at a time, and don't rush the process. Celebrate the small wins, and remember that healing and growth are journeys, not destinations. As you move through this transformation, you'll start to notice changes, not just in your outer life, but in how you feel inside. Maybe you're feeling more at peace, more connected to your intuition, or just more in tune with who you really are. This is the new you, emerging from the ashes of your old life. And it's not just about recognizing these changes, it's about embracing them. I know it might feel like you're walking on unfamiliar ground, and that's okay. Trust the process. Even if the path isn't entirely clear, know that you're being guided towards something greater. The universe has your back, and every experience, no matter how challenging, is bringing you closer to your true purpose. And here's something beautiful. Your journey through the dark night and tower moment has given you a light that others need. You've gained wisdom, strength, and perspective that can inspire and uplift those around you. Whether it's through your words, your actions, or simply the way you live your life, let that light shine. Share your story, offer support to others, and be a beacon of hope for those still navigating their own dark times. Embracing transformation after a dark night of the soul or a tower moment is one of the most empowering things you can do. It's about rediscovery, healing, and stepping into a life that's deeply aligned with who you are at your core. Remember, this isn't a destination, it's a journey of continual growth, evolution, and becoming more of who you're meant to be. So, we've journeyed through the depths of the dark night of the soul and the upheaval of the tower moment, all the way to the light at the end of the tunnel, your transformation. It's been a challenging path, no doubt, but one that's led you to a place of greater clarity, strength, and alignment with your true self. Remember, this process is ongoing. Transformation isn't a one-time event, it's a continuous journey of growth and discovery. Embrace it with an open heart, trust in the path ahead, and know that every experience, no matter how tough, is shaping you into who you're meant to be. Thank you for being a part of this conversation. If this resonated with you, I encourage you to share your own experiences in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insights and support on your spiritual journey. We're all in this together.